If Jesus is really God, then why did he die on a cross? Why would an all-powerful God allow himself to be arrested, humiliated, tortured, and killed like a criminal? If God is strong enough to create the universe, why not simply forgive humanity without suffering? This question has bothered believers and non-believers for centuries. But the Christian answer is not just emotional, it is logical, theological, and historical. First, Christianity teaches that Jesus didn't die because he was weak or defeated, but because he chose the cross voluntarily. He said, "No one takes my life from me. I lay it down of my own will." So the crucifixion is not seen as an accident, but as the center of his mission. Jesus didn't come only to teach, inspire, or perform miracles. He came to deal with something deeper, the human problem of sin, guilt, and evil. According to Christianity, evil is not something God can ignore or pretend doesn't matter. If God just says, "Forget it, you're forgiven," then evil has no consequence, justice has no meaning, and morality becomes just opinion. True forgiveness always has a cost. Someone must absorb the damage. If you forgive a debt, you pay the price yourself. If you forgive an offense, you carry the emotional weight instead of the guilty person. In Christianity, the cross is the moment where God absorbs the cost of human wrongdoing instead of making humanity pay for it. The cross also answers another problem, distance. If God stayed far away from human suffering, untouched and untouchable, then believers would always wonder if God really understands pain. But in Christianity, God does not stay distant. He enters the world, bleeds, feels abandonment, and experiences death from the inside. The cross says, God doesn't just watch suffering, he shares it. That is why Christians call it love, not weakness. But the cross is not the end of the story. If Jesus simply died and stayed dead, the cross would be nothing more than a tragic symbol. What makes it central to Christianity is the claim that Jesus rose again, not as a metaphor, but physically. The resurrection is what turns the cross from defeat into victory. It is like saying, evil did its worst, death did its worst, but love still won. Without the resurrection, the cross is failure. With the resurrection, the cross becomes the turning point of history. So why did Jesus die on a cross? Christian theology gives three answers. Because justice matters and evil cannot be ignored. Because love gives itself instead of demanding payment. Because God wanted to save the world, not by domination, but by sacrifice. Which means the real question is no longer, why did he die? But if he did that for the world, what does that mean for me?